Hello, it's Ruby, and today I have got a really exciting announcement to make. Okay, so this is something that I have not been putting off, but I've been waiting for the right moment to say it, because it is quite big news, as you can probably tell from the title. If you've been watching my videos for a while, then you'll know that I applied to study English Literature and Language at university. However, I have decided to change my course. So before I tell you which course I have changed to, I am going to leave a poll somewhere on the screen so that you can guess as to what I am actually going to be studying. I'm sorry for the suspense, but I'm really interested to actually hear, what do you think that I have changed my course to? What do you think I am now going to be studying at university? I'll give you 5 seconds to click that on the screen if you want to. Obviously you don't have to. If you chose philosophy and theology, you are correct, because on UCAS I have now affirmed my course as philosophy and theology. I wanted to just kind of sit down with you and actually talk to you about why I've decided to change my course, because it is quite a big decision, especially because I put so much into the English course, and I did so much extra reading for that and watched so many lectures, plays, critical essays. I did a lot of work for my in preparation for English, and so it's quite a big jump, and I know it's quite a big jump to then say, oh, actually no, I'm going to study something not completely different, but a different discipline nonetheless. So I'm going to talk about that now, and then at the end of the video I'll also tell you which university I have affirmed if you're interested. The reason I decided to change to philosophy and theology, it's quite tricky. I mean, for me it was always kind of between, should I follow the English path or should I follow the philosophy path? And because English had been something that I wanted to study since I was really young, 12 years old I said before, that's when I decided, oh, I want to study English literature at Oxford University. That was my dream when I was 12, and I think when it came to deciding university courses, even though I was kind of swayed by the philosophy, I thought, no, this is something I've wanted to do for such a long time, it's really going to suit me, let's not think about the philosophy and let's focus on the English. Funny story though, I did actually do quite a bit of preparation with my RS teacher at the beginning of year 12 for philosophy and for straight philosophy. So I originally wanted to apply to study philosophy and linguistics, and I wanted to do that for about a year, maybe a bit less than a year. So I read some new philosophers, and I really enjoyed all the preparation, but then again I thought, no, I'm going to go to English, I want to study English. But I think that I made the wrong decision, and I think especially having got rejected from Oxford, it really hit it home to me that maybe I shouldn't have gone into the university application process with my mind so set on which course I wanted to do, because when it came to actually deciding on courses at the end of year 12, I thought, no, I'm going to do English, and that was that. I didn't even consider philosophy after that. I was just completely set on English, completely set on my Oxford application. And I actually think that was quite damaging, and I actually kind of regret that, because if I thought carefully, I think I maybe would have known that I wanted to study philosophy and theology. Sorry. Spring is beautiful, but it means that the birds are very noisy when I'm filming, so I really apologise for that. Hopefully it provides some lovely ambience. And it's not like I didn't think carefully about it, because I did go back and forth, but once I decided on English, there wasn't really any point, I thought, in thinking about philosophy and theology at all. It was a bit along the lines of, well, I've focused on this now, I've chosen this, I can't go back. Getting rejected was really hard for me, and it still is. It still makes me quite upset to think about. But having reflected upon it, I actually wonder whether it was a good thing. I think maybe it's going to allow me to study a university course which I might enjoy more than I would have done the English, which is really funny. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. After getting rejected from Oxford, as I said, I had this time for reflection, and I was thinking about, what could I have done differently? It was that whole, oh, well, if only I'd done this, it would have happened. But I thought, no, okay, that's not a good way to look at it. Let's think about what my choices are. So I was looking at the universities I'd applied for, and I thought, I'm not sure whether I'm actually excited to do the English, because looking at it critically, I think when I was applying for English at Oxford, I was almost clouded by the fact that I was applying for this incredible school where I knew I'd be working with amazing professors and with people that really loved what they were studying. But I think that the idea of Oxford clouded my judgment to some degree. Once that bubble of sorts had burst, I could look at the English itself more critically without the accompanying Oxford, and I actually realised that philosophy and theology is what I wanted to study. I did some research into the courses, into the universities which I'd applied for, and I saw whether I might be able to switch courses. And at first I thought, oh no, this isn't going to work, I'm just going to have to go ahead and study the English, or maybe take a year out and reapply. But actually, it wasn't the end of the world, and it was so simple. So I did a lot of research into the philosophy and theology departments at the universities which I had applied for, and I was looking into one of the universities in particular, and I really I loved the course. I knew that the modules themselves were ones that I knew I was going to really find fascinating. There's one particularly on religion and society, and looking through the general course, there's a lot of philosophy of religion and also introduction to other faiths which I maybe haven't studied which I haven't studied in the same depth as Christianity. So looking at Islam, looking at Hinduism, looking at Buddhism, religions I know about but I haven't studied before, which is really interesting. And that university was, and this is, drum roll, because I found this university and I'm so excited. In September, providing that I get the grades, I will hopefully be going to study philosophy and theology at Exeter University. It's such a beautiful university, I can't even tell you, and J.K. Rowling went there. For everyone who is a Harry Potter fan who's watching this, I'm actually so excited. I mean, I really don't want to leave school. That's the part that's bittersweet, because it looks amazing but I don't want to leave school. But I really think that the university and the course is going to suit me, and I am excited to start studying it. So the grades that I need for this are AAB. Well, I'd applied at Exeter to study English literature with North American studies. You're looking at American literature in particular, and then in your third year you get to go and study at a North American university, either in the US or in Canada, and the grade requirements for that course are really high. So straight English at Exeter is AAA, English with North American Studies is A-star AA. You can see that having changed my course, my grades have been lowered substantially. I mean, that's 2 whole grades. It does take the pressure off a little bit, I've got to say. It's funny though, because if you in my study with me, I've got so many people commenting saying, oh, I think it's so cool how you're so fascinated with by religion, and where you do so much reading about philosophy and things, because in my study with me's, especially of late, I've been doing so much more extra stuff for philosophy and religion, which people seem to have noted, and lots of my reading is now based on that, and I love it to pieces. It's just so fascinating. There is my very exciting update on university. If you have any questions, then please let me know. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you have a productive week.